right, next my colleagues, Tim Merlino and Michelle Price, as this year's chair and vice chair of ESD superintendents, are going to move us to the final portion of our agenda. Over to you.
Okay, thanks, John. Like to take a minute to remember those from our ESD family who have passed away over the last year. Two of my board members, Ann Campbell and Marilyn Kenninger, were longstanding board members at ESD 112. Ann was a former AESD president, and they represented 61 years on our board, and very difficult times for us in the last few months, but happy to have had them on their board and known them for so long. Rick was a member of our AESD Assistant Superintendent Group, Rick Pilgrim, and served as Assistant Superintendent from ESD 105 for many years. He was a lifelong learner and educator who contributed immeasurably to his region and to our statewide network. So on behalf of the AESD network, I'd like to offer condolences to their families and invite us to take a moment of silence in their memory. Michelle?
Are you on mute, Michelle?
There you go.
All right, thank you. Sorry, we're muted in the big room and not on my laptop. So thank you, Tim, and thank you, everybody, for taking that moment of silence and that lovely remembrance. It's hard to lose people that we care about and that we worked with, and sometimes just to stop and reflect about how important life is today. We'd like to recognize and appreciate a few individuals who have dedicated their lives and careers to the betterment of education and our young people. As we recognize our colleagues, please use your Zoom reactions on the chat to offer your kudos and appreciation. First, as we mentioned earlier, John Zerliff, our most recent AESD Executive Board President, resigned his position last August. As such, we did not get a chance to recognize him and appreciate him for his service. So we would like to recognize him and share, oh my goodness, Jessica, I lost my notes. Too many pieces of paper here. Thank you. Got a little remembrance for us to read here. I can pull it up. Bear with me one moment, please. Do you happen to have it, Marcia?
No, I don't.
I'm not finding it.
Michelle, I'll put it in the chat to you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right, everybody, stand up, stretch out, take a moment here.
Almost there.
Michelle, I'm happy to say a few words if you would like me to.
Sure, John, why don't you go ahead while she's pulling that up?
Great. Yeah, I so appreciate the fact the AESD Executive Board is recognizing John. Just a little bit of background. John was on our board for 21 years. He was our board chair twice around. During his time on the board, he served on our legislative committee, which included taking a number of trips back to Washington, D.C., where he advocated for education funding and policy. He was a big believer in our work to lead for racial equity. Before serving here, he also served on Bethel's school board for 8 years and was active in WASDA. So I think he did something like 32 years in public education. It meant a lot to him. He was a big proponent of AESD, and as was shared, most recently served as the board chair before he stepped down. So we all wish him the very best.
Thanks, John. And just to recap a couple things that were in the document that I was looking for. Overall, John spent 38 years in public education, serving in a variety of capacities. So that's just a tremendous amount of time and a commitment and a passion for public education. So congratulations to John, and just definitely a much appreciation for his constant advocacy for public education. So on behalf of the AESD team, we really just want to make sure he knows he's appreciated. And I'm going to turn it back over to Tim, who is going to do a couple more recognitions.
Yeah, thanks, Michelle. As many of you may be aware, 3 of our ESD superintendents are retiring this June, and none of them wanted me to say anything about them, but I'm going to anyway. So it's my honor and my privilege to recognize and appreciate Mike Dunn, Superintendent of New ESD 101, Darcy Weisner, Superintendent of ESD 123, and Greg Lynch, Superintendent of Olympic ESD 114. Together, these 3 individuals have contributed over 90 years to public education and leadership. They each have served their regions and communities in deep and meaningful ways. They've also engaged as solid partners as we've navigated the pandemic and evolved the network together. On behalf of the entire AESD, I offer my sincere thanks and appreciation to all of them for their service. Each of them will be receiving a small token of our appreciation donated by Clear Risk Solutions partners. So please join me to offer a big thanks to Michael, Darcy, and Greg for their contributions, dedication to the students in the state of Washington. Thank you all. And now I want to hand it over to Greg Lynch, Superintendent of Olympic ESD 114, to introduce our next speaker.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. Just appreciate the recognition. I'm going to go off script just a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'd be remiss if we didn't recognize one of our longstanding board members here in the Olympic ESD. Don Ring, who many of you know, is the longest serving ESD board member in the state of Washington. So when you have a chance to recognize Don individually by note, I would ask you to do that. Believe it or not, this year is his 50th year as an ESD board member in our ESD. He's a strong supporter of the AESD. He's been involved almost since the very beginning of the constitution of the ESDs back in the 70s. He's thoroughly engaged, and he is absolutely one of the best board members that I've ever worked with in my time. So please recognize Don when you see him. Okay, back on script again. I'm pleased to be able to introduce Clear Risk Solutions Rich Moore in a minute, who's going to bestow an AESD award. And on the slide that you'll see, for those of you that may be new, we do have some selection criteria for this award. I think it's important to recognize it's not only an internal recognition for the AESD, but more importantly, and you've heard a lot of evidence today, you know, we reach out and touch regularly 295 school districts in the state of Washington. Now, hundreds of private schools, particularly during the pandemic. So this award is pretty significant, both internally, externally, statewide, and also nationally. We do have a committee, and I wanted to thank Marcia, Cliff, and Merle for serving on that committee and going through a number of nominations that come from our ESDs. So thank the 3 of you for your work. You'll see next slide, some of the past recent recipients was in 2020, Representative Lori Dolan, who remains a strong supporter of K-12 initiatives. And then last year, we were honored to recognize Larry McGuffey from the North Central ESD for his phenomenal work, both inside that ESD, but across our state. So without further ado, I'd like to ask Rich Moore to say a few words and announce this year's winner. And also thank you, Clear Risk Solutions, for being a strong supporter of this particular award for a number of years. So Rich, please.
Well, thank you, Greg. And we are thrilled to be with you today to present this year's award. Clear Risk Solutions has sponsored this important award over the past several years, and we are really excited to support it again this year. This year, the award is a piece of student artwork from the North Central ESD region. The artist is Megan Kassenbaum, a sophomore at Wenatchee High School. Her piece is entitled Potrero Cafe, and Megan used mixed media to masterfully create an image of a hummingbird getting lunch from a flower in the foreground of the cafe. So Megan's piece was purchased to honor her work and creativity and to honor this year's ASD award recipient. So Greg just shared with you the criteria for the annual AESD Award of Distinction, and we believe this year's recipient truly embodies each of the criteria. This year's award recipient is a lifetime educator. Her career began as a public school teacher, and though her path over the years led her to the business world, serving in executive level roles with Fortune 100 technology companies such as Apple, she has come back to education as an incredible advocate and change agent. As an influential member of our Washington State Legislature and Senator from the 41st Legislative District, Senator Lisa Wellman has served on the Early Learning and K-12 Education Committee since her election in 2016 and has served as the chair for the past several years. In addition to this critical role, she also serves on the Educational Opportunity Gap Oversight and Accountability Committee, the Mastery-Based Learning Work Group, the Work Integrated Learning Advisory Committee, and is a mentor for MBA candidates at the University of Washington. Senator Wellman was an instrumental advocate in the Senate in 2018 and 2019 for the passage of House Bill 1216 that established the regional school safety centers, and for securing the role of our ESDs in supporting the statewide Career Connected Washington initiative. Her passion for science and technology has also shown through with her stewardship of legislation to increase access to computer science instruction and opportunities for high school students across our state. This past session, Senator Wellman led the Senate to update the prototypical funding bill to provide significant investments in student health, including funding for counselors, nurses, and mental health support staff that will serve students for years to come. During the summers of 2018 and 2019, the Senator visited each of the ESD regions to meet in person with ESD staff and school district leaders to learn about how state policies play out in local schools and communities. Throughout her tenure, she has actively sought feedback and input from ESDs as she considers and crafts state policies and recommendations. She has continued to engage with ESDs virtually over the past couple of years despite COVID. Senator Wellman is a systems thinker who is inspired by creative and innovative solutions to problems and loves to think outside of the box. She is energized by a good old-fashioned, impassioned debate and has many connections and loves to make linkages among individuals. Her personal interests include art and photography, travel, reading, and a spirited game of bridge. For all of these reasons, along with her lifelong commitment to students, schools, and the education system in our state, make Senator Lisa Wellman the perfect recipient for this year's award. Please join me in congratulating Senator Wellman on this honor. And Senator, if you're on, would you, although you've not received it yet, this award will be making its way to you framed and ready to display in the coming weeks, and we hope you enjoy it. Thank you for taking time this afternoon and to join the leaders, and thank you for our service to our state. I'm not sure if she's on, but if she would like to share a few words.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
there you go.
I am here, and I'm hoping that you can hear me. Was this supposed to be a complete surprise? Because it absolutely is, and thank you so much. What a wonderful honor. I really do appreciate, you know, when people whom you admire, who you think highly of, give you something that says that they think highly of you, that's really special. And as you have said, I am a strong champion of our ESDs. You all do amazing, amazing work. And coming into the system, I wasn't part of the system before I was elected, and I had no knowledge of how it worked. I had been through a corporate environment, and so I saw this, you know, what looked like a work chart, but doesn't function that way. And so I started to dig in and have the opportunity to speak to each and every one of you. And I'm sorry that 3 people will be leaving because it is such an important role that you play. And especially So I was asked to come and talk about, do you still want me to talk about this?
We wanted to surprise you. And we knew you were good at thinking on your feet.
No, I'm totally surprised. And I'm not going to allow this time to go by without saying to each and every one of you, thank you for what you've done over the last couple of years in these major challenges that education has really been forced into, and it's not over. As I've toured, and I think it was actually 3 times that I've been out to the ESDs, and we'll be going out again this year because you can't figure out what's going on by sitting on Mercer Island or sitting in Olympia. You have to get out there, and each and every one of the ESDs really is dealing with a number of school districts with unique problems and unique issues. And so I'm glad that I've had the opportunity not only to meet you, but to work with you. Beyond, as we know, Tim is there, and he and I have worked on Career Connect Washington, which he actually seemingly got off the ground with the work that he did. It was exciting to be out there. I see the ESDs as a distribution network. When we looked at, Greg has been very helpful when we were working on safety and getting safety measures out there. That was really invaluable. Michelle was, when we closed down the schools, Michelle in Wenatchee was helping to get teachers training so that, for distance training, et cetera. So, there is a lot of effort that goes into getting our messages, our programs out in effective way to all the different school districts. And I don't know how it would happen without the work of all of you. So continue to work with you. And I will tell you, as long as I have the moment, I will tell you my new favorite person that I'm working with is out in Spokane, is Tammy Schrader. I did a call out to every one of your science people, the people in your ESDs who were focused on science. And by the way, they were so thrilled that somebody called them up. It was like, oh, nobody's ever called me. We're really delighted to be able to talk with you. And I met Tammy, and now we're working together on the gamification of education and doing amazing things. I'm so excited to be working with her and to learn about the programs, out in Thurston, learning about the various health programs that are going on. I really do appreciate how you have instructed me to be better at my job, helped me to be better at my job so that I can help you and our kids and our system to be the very best in the nation. So thank you so much. I'm just blown away. I really am. It's really delightful. Thank you.
So congratulations again, Senator Wellman. I think it's even more wonderful that you were surprised, and it's an honor for this group to be able to honor you for all that you have done. I haven't met you in person, but I have heard many times, I can't believe that she came to every one of our areas in the state. And that says a lot, just right there. So thank you very much.
Well, it's my pleasure. And as I said, it's a collaboration. It needs to happen. You can't do it. I can't do this job as effectively unless I know what you're talking about and getting the input from you. So thanks so much.
Thank you. Great. Okay, we're down to the final two here. Dana, will you please come up? This is exciting, and let us know about what we're doing next year at this time at this conference.
Okay, how about now? Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. Sorry, our whole system in the room muted as well. Yes, we are super excited to be partnering with our colleagues at Puget Sound ESD, with the executive board and others that will be helping to frame our annual conference for 2023. We will be sending out reminder information, including a video that our teams have put together that is sort of a, hey, we had a plan for 2022, and you'll catch it as the video plays out. Again, we'll be meeting at the Hyatt Regency in Lake Washington, and we will be engaged in shared learning as it relates to student voice and our role in as champions for equity. And with that, I know time is of the essence, and we will just push pause right there. Looking forward to seeing you all soon, but also seeing you at our annual conference, April 2023.
Thanks, Dana. Jessica, do we have the,
I think it's over to Darcy.
okay.
Yeah, so I get the opportunity to run the final raffle. So thank you, Dana, for that. And let's go ahead and start.
171. Yes.
Marcia, congratulations. Sorry, Terry, you were almost there.
I didn't think my name was there.
All right.
171.
Katie. All right, one more.
Susan or Larry?
Kathy Nelson.
Kathy Nelson. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate your participation. So Marcia, I'm gonna turn it over.
Okey doke. Well, I have down here to say congratulations to all of the raffle winners, but I didn't know one would be me, so yay, I can't remember the last time I won anything. So this great prizes. Thank you again, sponsors, for doing this. So what a Power Pack day, my gosh. You've heard the results of a year of really meaningful work. I hope you found today to be both educational and entertaining. Before we close, I'd like to acknowledge our Executive Director, Jessica Vargas, whose leadership has just been steadfast all year and instrumental in all of the progress that we have achieved, including this very complex, very important meeting that with Zoom, it was important to get it done, but it really had had a lot of difficulty too. So thank you, Jessica, from all of us. It is said that we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give to others. So to all of you, thank you. Thank you for your willingness to serve. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for your commitment, and thank you for your passion for education. For this is a cornerstone of what we stand for. 1, state network. 2, inspire and foster equity, opportunity, and results. So I really look forward to seeing you in person at our next year's annual meeting on the banks of Lake Washington. And with that, I'm going to formally, with my gavel, adjourn the 2022 AESD membership meeting. Take care and enjoy the rest of your afternoon.